They say there's a river, hidden deep within the canyons of the world, where the mists never truly lift. It's called the River of Echoes. Legend has it that if you listen closely, you can hear the voices of the past, whispers carried on the current from ages long gone. Some call it a gateway to history, others, a tomb for forgotten words. We came seeking answers, drawn by the allure of this mythic place. Pote, as the fog wrapped around our boat, a chilling thought settled in. Some echoes are best left undisturbed. The air here is heavy, thick with the weight of unspoken stories, and the water flows with a majesty that feels both ancient and alive. We were about to learn that this river doesn't just repeat the past. It demands you become a part of it. A voice cut through the fog, sharp and clear. It wasn't just any voice, two's. My great-grandfather's, a man I'd only known through faded photographs and family stories. He was calling out a warning, a name I didn't recognize, his tone filled with an urgency that sent a shiver down my spine. Alara scoffed, blaming the strange acoustics of the canyon. "It's just the wind playing tricks on us," she insisted. But Cale, ever the believer, gripped the ship's railing. "No," he whispered, "this is a message. A sign." The debate raged on. Frizzodic hallucination, a trick of the mind brought on by exhaustion and the eerie atmosphere. Or was it something more? A divine message, a spectral warning from an ancestor reaching across time. The stakes were suddenly immense. If we ignored it and sailed on, we could be heading into disaster. But turning back meant abandoning our quest, admitting defeat to a ghost. Okay, the voice echoed again, and this time, we all heard it. The choice was no longer ours to make. We pushed deeper into the canyon, the mist growing thicker with every oarstroke. The echoes started to multiply. It wasn't just my ancestor's voice anymore. We heard fragments of ancient battle cries, lovers' whispers, a child's laughter, a king's final decree. The sounds overlapped, twisting into a chaotic symphony of history that pressed in on us from all sides. It was disorienting, maddening. Just as we felt our sanity fraying, the water ahead began to shimmer, churning with an unnatural light. Then, it rose. A colossal form emerged from the depths, a tapestry of iridescent scales that pulsed with every forgotten word it had consumed. The River Serpent. Its eyes, deep and ancient, fixed on us. It wasn't just blocking our path. It was the source of the echoes, a living archive of sound. The whispers fell silent, replaced by the low, guttural hum of the creature. It was hungry, and we were trespassing in its domain. Fear was a cold knot in my stomach, but fighting this mythic beast felt wrong. It wasn't a monster of mindless rage. It was something more. I stepped to the bow of the boat, my voice shaking but clear. "We mean you no harm," I called out. "We seek only passage." The serpent tilted its massive head, its hum resonating through the hull. It didn't speak in words, but a thought bloomed in our minds. Clear as day. Words have weight. A toll is required. It didn't want a battle. It wanted a secret. A truth from each of us. Something buried deep. A word we had never dared to speak aloud. Cale went first, his voice cracking as he confessed his jealousy of my leadership. Ilara followed, her tough exterior crumbling as she admitted she wasn't running toward a Vitcher, but away from a broken heart. One by one, we laid our souls bare, offering our most painful truths to the shimmering beast. Each confession felt like a physical weight being lifted, and with each one, the serpent seemed to listen. The air grew heavy with our secrets. Only one remained. Old Theron, the grizzled navigator who had been silent throughout the ordeal. The serpent's hum grew louder, more impatient. "I have no secrets to give," Theron growled, his hand tightening on the hilt of his dagger. "My life is an open book." The river answered his defiance. The calm water erupted into a violent surge, waves crashing over the sides of our boat. The serpent writhed, its shimmering scales flashing with anger. The chaotic echoes returned, louder than before, threatening to tear our minds apart as the boat tipped dangerously. We were going to capsize, swallowed by the river, and the beast do. In that moment of pure terror, I knew what I had to do. "Wait!" I screamed. "Take my truth instead." The serpent paused. "Day." "I don't believe in the prophecy," I confessed, the words tearing from my throat. "I doubt my destiny. I'm afraid I'm leading us all to our doom." The river stilled. Serpent lowered its head, its ancient eyes holding a flicker of understanding, perhaps even respect. It had its price. The water calmed, and the path ahead was clear. As we sailed on, the chaotic symphony of echoes began to fade. The whispers softened, the battle cries receded, until all that was left was the gentle lapping of the water against our hull. Silence. A profound, peaceful silence we hadn't realized we were missing. We didn't speak for a long time, each of us lost in thought. The truths we had shared hung in the air, but they weren't a source of shame. They were a bond. We were no longer just a crew. We were a fellowship, forged in honesty. Looking back, we saw the serpent dissolving into the mist, its colossal form melting away like a dream. In its wake, thousands of its glowing scales floated on the surface, illuminating the dark water like a galaxy of fallen stars. We had faced the guardian of forgotten words and learned that the most powerful truths are the ones we tell ourselves. The myth was real, but the lesson it taught was deeply human. We sailed out of the canyon as the sun began to break through the mist, the world feeling fresh and new. I reached over the side and plucked a single, shimmering scale from the water's surface, always cool to the touch, smooth as polished glass, and pulsed with a faint, internal light. It wasn't just a souvenir, it was a symbol of our journey, a reminder that honesty holds a power greater than any legend. It was a promise to ourselves and to each other. As I closed my hand around it, I felt it pulse once, a soft, rhythmic beat against my palm. The river of echoes was behind us, but I had a strange feeling that the voice it had unlocked was just the beginning. This scale was a key, and it was hinting at a mystery far greater than the one we had just survived. Our journey was far from over. Thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying our adventure, don't forget to subscribe for the next chapter.